G'day guys, my name's Dave Tran. Welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. And in this lesson, I'll be teaching you how to play Blow by Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, and Chris Stapleton. I absolutely love this song. It's got a banging guitar riff, very reminiscent to Audio Slave, but a little bit of Jimi Hendrix influence in there as well, I'd say. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve your guitar playing, then check out GZ2H Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Right, so for the basics of this song, you will need to detune your whole guitar down 1/2 step. So your heavy E string will go to E flat, A to an A flat, D to a D flat, G to a G flat, B to a B flat, and the high E to an E flat. Unfortunately, you can't really play this riff without detuning the guitar. All right, let's start with the main riff, which is a whole lot of fun to play, and there's actually not a whole lot to it. So we're gonna start with our index finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string, and you're gonna get your ring finger ready to hammer onto the 7th fret of the 5th string. We're gonna start with the open string. We're gonna start with a down, down, up on the top 6th string, open. And then you're gonna pluck the 5th string and hammer onto the 7th. So that section. And try to give that hammer on a bit of vibrato as well if you can. Makes it sound a little bit cooler. For our next chunk, start moving down towards the 5th and 3rd fret. We're going to start with those open strings again. Down, down. And then you're going to hit the 5th fret with your ring finger. And then with an upstroke, hit the 3rd fret with your index finger. So down, down, down. And that's the second chunk. All in total for the first bar. For our next bar, we're starting with the same section again, that hammer-on section. And then we're going to end this riff with a run of 8 notes. So start with the 5th fret of the 6th string, 7th fret of the 5th string twice, and then 5th fret of the 6th string, and then 5th fret of the 5th string, back down to the 7th, 6th fret, 5th fret, and then we end on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Now you should alternate pick all those notes, so down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up constantly. Like that. And in total, the riff sounds like this. And a little faster. Remember that last run of 8 notes, down, up, down, up, down, up, continuously. Now there's a couple of places like just before the break or just before the chorus where we're gonna play that run of 8 notes as a lead in. So just be wary of that. All right, next we get to the chorus. We're gonna start with the G5 power chord, so power chord on the 3rd and 5th frets. We're gonna strum this at 8th notes with down strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Move up 2 frets and do the exact same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we end this first line of tab with the main riff. The first 2 bars of the second line of tab are identical to the first line of tab. Then we're going to go and just slide your ring and index finger down to the 2nd fret. So it's an E5 power chord. Hit it and then mute the strings so it doesn't ring out. There's a bit of a break and then we're going to hit the D5 power chord and A5 power chord to end this chorus. So in total, the chorus sounds like this. All right, so the only other rhythm part we need to know is the start of the solo. And we're going to start with this E5 power chord, and we're going to strum it twice quickly. You can do that with 2 down strums or a down nut if you want, like that, and just mute it. There's a pause for the rest of that bar, and then for the next bar we start in a similar way, and then we go to the G5 and A5. So the second bar. The third bar is identical to the first bar, and then for the fourth bar we're going to hit the E5, hold that out for a beat, the G5 for a beat, the G5 for another beat, and then we're going to end by hitting the 3rd fret and hammering on to the 5th. So the final bar. And in total for the start of the solo in terms of the rhythm. And then for the rest of the solo rhythm, we're playing the main riff, and then we go back into the chorus. Now at the very end of the song, when we go back into the main riff, there's one small variation to this riff, and it's really easy. So each time we hit the open 6th string now, we're not hitting it with a down, down. We're just hitting it with a down and holding it out, and then playing everything else around it. So it's a bit more heavy and sounds like this. And then to end, we actually play that last riff another 2 times. And then you end with a nice and easy E power chord. All right, let's move on to the solo, which is heaps of fun to play, and it's actually easier than it sounds. Having said that though, if you're a complete beginner, this may be a little bit out of your league, but I would highly encourage you to just give it a shot anyway. So we're going to start with the index finger on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, hammer on and pull off to the 15th, and then go to the 15th fret of the 1st string. We're going to do the exact same sort of phrase, but go to the 14th fret next. We're then going to do another hammer on and pull off, but then go to the 15th fret of the 2nd string and bend it up a full tone. After the bend, we'll release it and then pluck it again and pull off to the 12th fret. And then end with the 12th fret of the 3rd string. So that final run. And in total for the first bar. For our second bar, we're going to play that exact same phrase another time. And then go to the 14th fret of the 3rd string, pull off, back to the 14th, bend up, and then hit the 14th, pull off, and then go to the 14th fret of the 4th string. And in total for the first line of tabs. For the second line of tab, we have a structure which is very similar to the first line. So we're going to do that hammer on pull off, but this time on the 3rd string from the 12th and 14th frets. And then 15th fret of the 2nd string with your pinky. And then hammer on pull off again. And we go to the 14th fret this time. You do that with your pinky, ideally. And then we're going to do another hammer on pull off. But this time ending note is 14th fret of the 1st string with your pinky. And then we do it another time, but ending note is the 15th fret of the 1st string. So that bar in total. Then this next run is probably the most difficult part of the song. You're going to have to do a lot of pull-offs here. So we're going to start with the 15th fret of the 1st string. Have your middle and index finger ready on the 14th and 12th frets. So we're going to hit this note and then do 2 pull-offs. Like that. Then we're going to do the exact same thing on the 2nd string. And then 3rd string. So that's all quite quick, one after the other. After those 3 pull-off runs, we're then going to go 14th fret of the 4th string and then 12th fret of the 4th string. So then with your ring and pinky finger, we're going to hit the 14th frets, do a half bend on them, release, hit them again, then 14th fret of the 4th string, 12th fret of the 3rd, and end on the 14th fret of the 3rd. So all of that together. In the total bar. A little faster. Now we move on to the 3rd liner tab. And from this point onwards, the guitar actually sounds a lot higher, but what he's using is an octave pedal. He's actually playing it on this lower register, but it actually sounds like it's an octave higher, but that's just because he's using a pedal. I'll show you the notes that you need to hit, and if you happen to have an octave pedal, then great. If not, it will still sound okay. So we're going to start this with the 14th fret of the 3rd string. I'm going to bend that up, slowly release, and then we're going to go quickly 12th and back to 14th. So, and bend again with a slow release, and then you go down to the 12th fret, do a bend, and then after you've released, hit it again, and so far. And then our next phrase is quite tricky, but let's break it up into groups of 3 notes. And that way it'll be actually quite a lot easier. So our first set of 3 notes, we're going to go 11th fret of the 3rd string, 12th fret and 14th fret. And then our next group of 3 notes, we do the exact same thing, but on the 4th string. We do that twice. And then we shift it back down to the 3rd string twice. And so far we have this. We'll end this run by going up to the 12th fret of the 2nd string, 14th of the 3rd, and back to the 12th fret of the 2nd. And then for our final bar, we go up to the 15th fret of the 2nd string, 12th, 15th twice, down to 12th, back up to 15th, and hit it again, and then bend up. And in total for this full run. Moving on to our 4th liner tab, we're just gonna play some octaves here. So index finger on the 12th fret of the 3rd string and pinky finger on the 15th fret of the 1st string. Now with the octave, you wanna keep the 2nd string muted. So you strum these top 3 strings, but only the 3rd and 1st string out. So I'm going to strum these octaves at 8th notes with just down strums. We'll do this one twice, and then slide down 1 fret, then slide down another 2 frets, slide down another 2 frets, slide down 1 fret, 2 frets, 2 frets, and then we're going to play an octave 1 string higher at the 5th and 8th frets. So all of that together. And then we're going to go to the 7th fret with our index and 10th fret with our ring finger. And you're going to hit both of these strings, but bend up the 2nd string. We're going to actually play this 5 times. Do the exact same thing up at 10th and 13th frets. And then we move on to the 5th liner tab, where we take this shape up to the 12th and 15th. We're going to hit both notes and bend up. And then on the release, hit the 15th fret of the 2nd string. For our next bar, you then, from the 14th fret, hammer on and pull off to the 15th. And pull off again to the 12th. And then end on the 14th fret of the 3rd string. So that sounds like this. And then you go 12th fret, and then we end the solo on the 14th fret of the 4th string. And that's it for the full solo. So altogether it'll sound like this. So now I'll be playing through the song in its entirety, and I'll have my good friend and artist by the name of Tugler lending his vocals on top. I actually used to play in a band with this guy, and we actually wrote a song that has a guitar riff that's very similar to this. But in any case, be sure to check out his YouTube channel if you like. There's a link in the description below. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Jumping out of gun, I'm feeling like a winner. I feel like the one. You're doing something to me. You're doing something strange. Well, jump back, talk to me, woman. You make me wanna have a baby. A supernatural woman. Supernatural freak. Don't know what you're doing. Got me feeling weak. Whoa, I wanna call you fever, baby. You set a fire on me. Hot damn, pop me like a pistol, mama. Got me down on my knees. Whipped cream and everything in between.
Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you really want to improve your guitar playing, then check out Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. It'd mean the world if you could hit that like button, hit subscribe, click the little notification bell as well so that you don't miss out on my updates. Please leave your thoughts, comments, questions, or requests down below, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.